Hello, everyone. Welcome to CSL. This is week 6, I believe. My name is Joshua Fekesquest here with Rapid, and this is University of British Columbia versus Simon Fraser University. Rapid, you're coming from Korea to us today, man.
Yes, literally on my way through the interwebs, utilizing the vehicle technology to bring my voice to you from across time and space into your games. Well, I guess the games belong to all of us. So we do look to get into our matchup today. This is going to be UBC, one of the most storied organizations when it comes to collegiate esports, facing off against Simon Fraser, also a team that we've gotten a chance to see plenty of times here in the CSL. And while these may not be quite the names that you are looking for, as we do have some quite new rosters, you'll get a chance to see these players play off before they hit the main stage for either one of their schools later on in Division One. So this is kind of like you can think of it like a preseason kind of for these teams and schools and players as they do play their Division 2 and 3 teams. And of course, we are going through week 6 currently on the board.
Yeah, and of course UBC. This is not the ULOL champions of last year or the year before that. Really, this is their secondary team, as you were mentioning before, different kind of divisions and things like that. And also SFU, and just going again back to what you were talking about, some of these names you don't recognize. This is more than likely SFU's primary team, but a lot of the names have changed. Not too many more from last year. In fact, the coordinator. One of the few who's actually sticking around from last year. So, see if he has a pretty decent team put together this season. Now, going into picks and bans here, Rengar, Hecarim, and Poppy banned by UBC. And then we have Ivern, Lee Sin, and Anivia. Anivia is a little bit of a surprising pick, but definitely a targeted ban to Luminous.
Yeah, I was actually just going through the champions and the players who were playing them. I actually thought Luminous might have played jungle, since that is his alternate role. But nope, he's going for either Anivia or maybe Kassadin. He actually has almost 60,000 mastery points on Kassadin, almost over 80,000 on Anivia. So I see the Kassadin target band in the future, if that is the choice he goes for. That's going to be a Nautilus locked in for the Lord Mayor. We've seen Nautilus go into just about every single role in the game so far, and it doesn't look like that's going to be a top lane Nautilus, since we haven't seen Lord Mayor play that at least recently on his OPGG or things like that.
It is going to be locked in, though, so we'll see where he flexes that one to. As SFU, they don't really have much to go off of as far as that first pick. So clever pick and ban so far from UBC. Just going to getting the Nautilus out there, not giving anything away, and that is going to well, actually they're going to hover over the Jace and the Caitlyn. Caitlyn locked in, so that is going to be the ADC for Simon Fraser University. We'll see if this Jace is going to be locked in. It is. Picked up a lot of speed during the Worlds tournament just the last month. So. Still seeing the effects of that one. And we have Kha'Zix locked in, which new patch 6.22, we are on that one. So we are going to see Kha'Zix and his hellacious Q cooldown, 60% reduction on isolated targets.
Yeah, this is actually really cool. And of course, the way you count isolated targets works a little bit differently than it does before, if I recall correctly. Got our resident new patch expert Fekes here to drop all the knowledge bombs on us when it comes to some of these new assassin champions. Now, you can even see things like Rengar banned out because he has been reworked. Ivern banned out because the jungle's been reworked, and now we get both a rework and a very strong jungler there in that Kha'Zix for UBC.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a little bit. I said 60% cooldown reduction when he uses his Q on an isolated target after he evolves it. That's just one thing. So if he evolves his W, he gets an 80% slow on his enemy whenever he hits his little spikes. That's actually pretty huge. 80% slow, very, very huge. I think it goes from 40 to 80, I believe, whenever you evolve it. And of course, his wings stay the same. You still get the cooldown reset. Not much change there. Now his ultimate, if you evolve his ultimate now, you actually get stealth whenever you go into a bush, which that is pretty huge too. But so you kind of play Kha'Zix a few different ways now. Q, almost a guarantee that you're going to evolve the Q. It is an incredible ability, especially if you want to go counter jungle, say like a Vi.
Yeah, if you do find the Vi out there, you can just tell them to Vi, get out of the jungle. It's yours. So the Vi getting locked in, definitely a not one of the biggest junglers that we've seen on previous patches. So it'll be interesting for me to see if that is what we're going for here. And now, it should be noted that this is one of the main champions for Frozen Knight, but it is one that he's only started playing a little bit more recently with this new patch. So he likes it, and we'll see if it is good enough. Now, previous patches, we've seen champions like Cinder actually come out as one of the stronger or one of the strongest picks in the mid lane. So it's kind of interesting to me to see it not prioritized quite as highly as you'd expect. It is last picked there by UBC, and of course on the other side, Simon Frasier looking to find something to save them from either the bursts from Syndra or maybe the isolation from Kha'Zix. And Tom Kench is what they are hovering over here. Although it'll be interesting to see if that is locked in, since Tolo is probably a little bit more known for pokey sustained champions like Nami or Soraka.
Yeah, and I was wondering if he was going to go with the Tom Kench. Haven't seen too much of that in competitive play, but as I was thinking that this morning, as I believe it was Unicorns of Love, I believe they were the ones that picked in Tom Kench in the IEM Extreme. It was I don't remember if it was them or INTZ, but either way, Tom Kench was picked earlier today. Haven't seen him too much, but we're not going to see him today either, at least in this game, as Alistar is locked in. Alistar got a little bit of a change as well. He doesn't have that on-command heal anymore. It's actually, you have to stack up. I believe it's CC you have to stack up, and I might be wrong on that. Still getting all the nuances of this new patch underway. But he does have a new stun, and that does stack up, and you'll be able to see that in-game more than likely, as you can see the chains broken, bonded around, I believe, an enemy. If he gets 3 auto attacks onto an enemy, I believe that triggers the stun on that one. And again, I apologize if that is incorrect. I do know it is a new mechanic for Alistar. I have a limited amount of experience with Alistar so far in this patch, only a few games. I've been seeing tweets from the higher up players, challenger players from last season, that he's kind of got a little bit weaker, especially in lane. It's so hard to sustain in lane without that heal. Of course, you can't sustain without a heal, but a little bit better in team fights. We're going to see how Tolo plays him over on SFU.
Tolo. I thought for a while that was the sound that the priest makes from Age of Empires way back in the day. No, that's Wolo. But that's not what we have here. Hey man, that was back in the day. That's actually one of my first video games I ever played. Of course, immediately after that came League of Legends, basically. But let's actually talk for about a minute about our 2 team compositions. Here, we're going to see a little bit more of the newer picks coming out of UBC. For Simon Frasier, they do have a very aggressive lineup, looking to really capitalize on that top jungle synergy. We'll see how that works out as it goes up against the Kha'Zix, which we'll probably be touching on quite a bit this game.
Yeah, I'm really anxious to see the Kha'Zix, especially if UBC Korean can counter jungle Frozen Knight, because I feel like that's where he's most powerful. Like I said, you get him isolated, and especially after level 6, get him isolated, evolve your Q. Not necessarily in that order, but yeah, you get the Q, 60% cooldown reduction. You can do a huge amount of damage. He can throw his Q out at about 2 seconds, every 2 seconds, I should say. So it's going to be really interesting to see how UBC Korean plays against Frozen Knight in the jungle. We'll see how it wraps up here. We are on a little bit of a delay going in as the teams get into game. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest, and I am here with Rapid. He's, again, from Korea, so really glad he could join us. But for now, we're going to throw over to a commercial. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
Ben, Sam, and Ken are on separate journeys to defeat the menacing Vile Dragon. But let's just say luck isn't on their side. If only there was a way for them to find each other and band together. Well, that's why there's Band. It's a mobile app that allows people to come together using common interests. With Band, you can find fellow gamers, chat, schedule gaming sessions, and conduct polls. Stage epic battles with friends while sharing videos and photos along the way. So try Band today. Band. Be together.
are into game number 1 in the 6.22 patch, and I want to point out, it looks like the overlay is a little bit different, so we're going to get that one sorted out, but we're going to keep the game on, we're going to keep commentating. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest, I am here with Rapid here, and like I said, going to try to get this overlay situation sorted out, because 6.22, they, you know, every year Riot likes to update their aesthetics, and apparently it's getting to us a little bit, so hang tight. Rapid, take it from here.
All right, well, do want to welcome everybody to our show here this evening. Hope you all are having a wonderful evening wherever you are. And welcome to our best of 3 matchup tonight. It's going to be British Columbia. That's University of British Columbia, UBC, taking on Simon Frasier. It's UBC's B team, who are currently undefeated in this week 6 of our Division 2, Division 3, taking on Simon Frasier's A team, or Simon Frasier A, who have been defeated but have also won one more game than British Columbia has at this point. Now, I think the biggest things to talk about as far as the actual game is going to be the initial starts. Most teams really opt for just the fan out across Summoner's Rift to just start things off very safe, very sound, unless you do want to go for building a team composition around making those early invades happen. Even still, we will not see any early aggressions. We do just get safe starts on both sides. Because both of our junglers are mana-based junglers, that means that they will be starting on red side, most likely moving to take blue themselves instead of handing that off to early on.
See how that one plays out. Again, apologize for the overlays. I'm not really sure what's up with those or how to fix those. If anybody has an idea, feel free to throw it out in chat, because I would love to know. That might help out right there. That's better. Never mind. Something was unclicked for some reason. I don't know why. I got it. Overlays going up. Fantastic.
Super fantastic. Just like you, Fekes.
Yeah, thanks. It's still a little bit off, but it's going to work for now. Aggression in the top lane, Lord Mayor. Not respecting the level 2 Jace, and he's probably one of the most powerful level 1s and level 2s in this game, considering his 4 abilities he can use.
Absolutely, yeah, super strong, so you do not want to fight him. And this is the matchup that you want for Jace. You want to put him into something, used to be things like Dr. Mundo or Maokai, where you have that range versus melee advantage, and you can really sort of put that home. Things like Poppy, to just start to get so much harassed that you just can never get tanky enough to stop him. But you do need to keep an eye on the CS and make sure that you are on top of that so you can continue to scale pretty hard. So what we are actually seeing out on Summoner's Rift is our early jungle pathing, and that should be actually pretty significant. Now, you can see Korean in the jungle on Kha'Zix is going for the isolated camps first. Actually, should have actually seen him go for the Gromp now. Jungle camps actually do take a lot of investment to kill them. They are very strong. We're already seeing a first jank of the game come in here in the mid lane, setting up for Green and maybe swing right back around there. Flash out, but a flash is flash. It's first blood with an improved Kha'Zix.
Yeah, that was a very nice gank in the mid lane. It actually seems like you're a little bit behind. I'm not sure why. I'm at 350, and you're also cutting in a little bit there, but we'll fix, like I said, we'll fix this one. He is from Korea. He's coming in from Korea, so it's a little bit, the connection's not solid.
We should have things fixed up now. Hopefully my connection is a little bit better, and I am back up to live, so apologies for a little bit of delayed casting. Probably going to let you take it away just to make sure the action is covered when it is supposed to be.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, like I said, we're some things change in the client. We're still getting used to it, so it'll be all right. And yeah, so that was a very nice gank by UBC Korean, and that was he was level 3 when he did that. It was very powerful. He just leapt in, threw his Q out. I believe Frozen Knight was technically isolated whenever he died, and he was quite a ways away from the victor. So I think it was a little bit more empowered on that Q. It is the May, doesn't really matter. UBC Korean, he did pick up that kill, starting off very nicely for him. 1-0 right now. Already went back, got a Tiamat, so he's going to be clearing the jungle a lot faster. As with these junglers, with the update Krugs, updated Raptors, AoE jungle clear is very important. So Tiamat, not a bad item at all, especially for first blood Kha'Zix.
Absolutely, and I think for Kha'Zix too, when it comes to doing the new jungle, you can actually just clear it so quickly thanks to isolation buffs. But in order to get those buffs, you need to actually remove all the Chinese camp. So you can actually see UBC Korean using that blast fruit actually to get over the wall a little bit more quickly. Kind of cute to see that being used as a plant to help aid him in his jungle route.
Alright, now I'm adjusting the interface. Let me know if
actually top lane, there's a lot of action
in the top lane.
on the
Flash
last.
being used on Lord Mayor. He actually goes down due to the minions taking them out, but now UBC Korean is in top lane. He sees, or smells blood rather. Not going to go for it. Doesn't have flash available. Tried to leap in, got the slow, but not enough to kill Seago in the top lane.
Yeah, so it's gonna take us down to bottom lane there. You can see the new trample active. It's actually gonna be the E skill taken off the passive. Now it's damaging as Triumph Swords on to the passive on Alistar. So it's a little bit different. But if you want to think about Alistar as a champion, he still does the same things he always has. Headbutt, pulverize, lots of disruption within team fights. While you haven't been seeing him use it against the champions so far, it does allow the rest of their team to secure the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, and dragons is very important still. Not much has changed with the dragons. It's actually a buff coming up to Shyvana having to do the dragons, but that's not right now. And the dragons have wholly remained unchanged, so that's still good to have. Very nice, nice advantage in the early going. And yeah, Spectate Client still doesn't have the dragons like they do in the LCS. That'll probably come pretty soon, hopefully with patch 6.23. But yeah, for now, UBC Korean, not Korean barbecue, UBC Korean going to try to pick up his red buff, make his way possibly to the mid lane, but just going to keep farming for right now. Take advantage of that Tiamat and try to get as far ahead of Frozen Knight as possible. Actually, 10 CS up right now. It's not huge, but if it keeps up, it will become a problem, considering he can clear a lot faster than Frozen Knight's fire right now.
Yeah, now something that should actually be noted as we do progress towards this game is that we have seen different strengths out there, but the gold count's still actually completely even. So we are looking to see what the first big objective is. They really start to turn that around. And while we have seen that early dragon taken already, it will be the altercation of the jungle that might start to tip things one way or another. You can see Korean force out. It's actually the mid lane. Action on the bottom half of the map there as well. Tons of fighting all over the room.
Yeah, tons of fighting. No kills going down yet, but Frozen Knight still in the enemy jungle. Seago is actually going to join him as well. May give up the Grump here. Actually, no, it's stolen away. Green, I think I was able to smite that away, so able to secure his jungle camp, the Grump. He did get the health off of that as well, which allowed him to survive that. Another jungle change is the smite now gives health no matter what you smite in the jungle, so that is very helpful, especially in that instance where a nice shock blast would have been able to do the job. And then we see the green wards coming out as well. We talked about in one moment as we have a little bit of skirmish going on. True Shot Barrage going across both too low, and Zero. From Pavel. Zero is going to be able to get out. Exhausted on the lies, but he was able to flash over, get the kill anyways with the Arcane Shield. And now, Tolo, he tried to knock Ezreal back into the Vi, who launches himself in, but now, both junglers in the mix. This time, UBC Korean able to pick up the kill onto that one. And now, actually, UBC all around just picking up kills. Got a double kill for UBC Korean. So, very nicely played by the side. Meanwhile, at top lane, more action. Ultimate's going down from Lord Mayor. Seago, he gets knocked up. They're going to knock him back with that big hammer. Disengage this fight for now. He does have the range, the advantage in the range, considering he has blue buff, able to throw out some shock blasts if he wants.
Actually, really cool to see that. I believe we have the Courage Colossus Mastery used up top lane to allow him all those extra shields when he does go into combat, along with the extra shield from Titan's Wrath, which is already going to give him almost 200 extra hit points when he does go in for these trades. Actually, a little bit crazy to think about when it comes to getting in for the 1v1, but BGO has so much damage at this point. It's already pushes the call as well, so get maybe a little bit greedy, but still a big advantage when that does finish stacking up. So nice to see CGO really putting his presence up in the top lane in a very dominant way, getting a huge CS advantage, which you would expect, and of course getting even more gold from that call. It's nice to see him actually.
Looks like the UBC Korean, he's making his way to the top lane, gonna try to catch Seiko here on his chase, and might not be able to find what he wants. He's gonna lead into him though. Not getting enough damage down though. Kyle able to take out one of the control wards, and that is one of the beautiful things about the wards nowadays. The control wards, they actually, you don't even have to actually take out wards if you don't want to, but because being a control ward, it actually dampens the ward around it. But you can if you want, as it does see the wards, and also sees camouflaged champions as well. As I say that, as Kha'Zix is past level 6 now, so he's going to be able to use his ultimate if he wants to, but not going to. Just going to try to clear out some wards right now. So not too much happening at the moment. Dragon is going to be up in 1 minute though, and this is, I believe, the Infernal Dragon. No, that's a Cloud Drake. Sorry about that. I thought the I'm still used to watching the LCS where they have different dragons images that they haven't really caught up yet in the actual in-game spectator mode. So it's just going to be Cloud Dragon, not Infernal Drake. No worries.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit worried if that was going to be Inferno, but yeah, Cloud,
Yeah, right, yeah.
Cloud's very Cloudy Day here, but no chance to evolve just yet. There's the exhaust North out there, so all we'll do is stay alive, turn some damage right back around, but it's not going to be enough, and that will be the 6th kill of the game coming to this UBC squad. I mean, they are representing a pretty big name in collegiate esports and doing it very well, off to a very strong early start.
I mean, yeah, they do have, like I said, they're technically the team hall because of that 1 minute first the bottom, big ult coming out from Carlos Bomb. There's a teleport coming in as well from Lord Mayor. Maybe looking up huge here. Tilo does pick up the opposite support, but now it looks like he is going to go down as well. Lord Mayor picking up that one, and in the back line, isolated, UBC Korean able to pick up Frozen Knight, go on a rampage. 4-0-1 right now, and it looks like that may be first turret going over to UBC.
Looks like it certainly will be Pekka's, and at this point, I mean, first turret blood is still very impactful. You do get a lot extra, and it depends on who you want to put that extra gold on. Pushing bottom lane and top lane, desperately trying to see who can take the turret down first. Looks like it will just very be Lies in the bottom lane. Though it was very, very close, and that will give that extra turret gold. BC actually, wow, that was a lot closer than I thought it was. A couple of auto attacks difference. I think CGO might have been able to secure that if he had focused a little harder.
Yeah, Jace can take turrets very quickly, but there's just a little bit too much pressure in the bot lane. So first turret technically does go over to UBC. Got it wasting just about maybe 1 second quick enough for that turret gold. So very nice pickup by UBC. And actually, let's point this out. So CGO, he's actually out farming Lord Mayor quite a bit in the top lane, but it doesn't even matter. Hold on, in the bot lane though, there's a little bit of damage going on to Tulo, but now Korean, he gets exhausted, may actually go down here, stealths out, gets that speed boost, is able to make it out. He's gonna live to tell another story, not gonna die, not gonna give up that rampage gold that he's been stacking up.
Really kind of interesting to see how that works out. Now, things do work a little bit differently here for Kha'Zix. When you are isolated, you're going to take additional damage just because you get extra damage on your basic attacks. But the bigger thing is that it refunds about 60% of the cooldown of Taste Fear when you do evolve it. That means healing and swings. I'll actually get a chance to see that in action here as Lord Mayor is actually flashing the depth charge in on his CEO. And I mean, Luminous, the first casualty, is like a second casualty of this relatively long, protracted fight.
Yeah, Kha'Zix picking up yet another and again on Frozen Knight. 1-4-1 on Frozen Knight, 5-0-1 now on UBC Korean. Quite a difference there. And it's starting to show, especially in levels. UBC Korean hitting that level spike a lot quicker than Frozen Knight. Trying to get the second ultimate up, and that's actually whenever you see Korean, he's going to be able to get the reset from his ultimate, assuming he's going to evolve his wings on this at level 11. Well, we'll see what he does. Like I said, it's interesting trying to play out where Cosmos is going. But when you're in such a huge lead like this, I would think being able to get in, assassinate, and get out would be UBC Korean's best bet here. We'll see what he picks. In the meantime,
Generally will.
Yeah. In the meantime, top lane, CGO still keeping that minion lead 4 minions up almost. So he's actually doing quite well for himself, despite the roam from Lord Mayor earlier. He's over 1,200 Duckman gold right now.
Yep, at least for the time being, the top lane matchup is going pretty much how you'd expected. The Jace able to punish and really put down Nautilus early on. Now, as Nautilus, you do scale incredibly hard, with especially the health stat that's going to be coming his way. Already having a lot of that stacked up there with the Sunfire Cape completed. But for CGO, all he has to do is just make sure that he can deal effectively with all this armor stacking coming up. So just have the Black Cleaver completed. You should be looking for something along the lines of like Yomu's Ghostblade or Last Whisper. As he continues to look for ways to chunk through the Lord Mayor's armor.
And I'm gonna see how that one. Yeah, so yeah, also they did change armor pin a little bit. You still have a percentage, but you don't have flat armor pin anymore. You now have lethality, which I mean it's a little confusing, but essentially what it is there's a flat amount of lethality you get, and then it actually the rest of it scales up from based on level. It's quite interesting. Haven't seen it built yet, so at least in this game. So we'll get to that point whenever we have to. But for right now, Lord Mayor taking advantage of CGO, absent in the top lane, trying to get as much down onto that turret as possible, allowing himself to roam a little bit more with that turret gone. It's about time that he wants that down. So. A lot of pressure in the bot lane, and not being punished too much either. UBC able just to push up without any repercussions. But in the top lane, Frozen Knight, CGO, they hop right onto Lord Mayor. He knows he's not going to get away. He's just going to turn back and fight, but eventually go down anyway. CGO picking up that kill, his second kill of the game in the top lane.
Kill coming back in. Nice committal there by Frozen Knight. Not really overextending, but recognizing where the rest of you weakened. But with that committal up on the top half of the map, there's not a lot to defend bottom. Mid lane though, oh my goodness. Becca, where did that damage even come from?
Isolated targets, leap in, leap out. That is what Kha'Zix does best. He's always done it. He just does it better now. Even exhausted, he still was able to chunk down the victor in the mid lane. Ultimately, the kill did go over to Luminous, but still a huge amount of damage. And not to mention, UBC Korean able to tank up that turret, take a couple shots for himself, and then he knew he could just leap out, no problem. So very nicely played by UBC. Nice coordination from the jungle and the mid lane, and now they're going to push in pressure this inner mid turret.
All right, well, just keeping an eye on the way things are going. It certainly seems like the UBC show for now. We did have that one gank that was successful up in the top lane, but a little bit too many resources committed, trying desperately to make that work. In the end, man, the strong get stronger here as UBC Korean 5-0 red buff Kha'Zix going to carry granted all tank build or all damage build. He can do it. He will get the isolation damage. Flash needs that last hit, and he'll get it for a dominant 1%. Kill all.
He can still leap out because he got the reset from his involved wings. Frozen Knight trying to keep up with him. Does not have Assault and Battery, so cannot chase him down too much longer. But with the jungler being shown in the top area, that leaves the dragon for UBC, and they're going to take it. This one being Mountain Drake, so they have quite a bit of power underneath their belts already, especially now for pushing.
They certainly do, and it's not even just going to be about pushing. It's going to give you all of the stats that are going to help if you do decide to push into the enemy base by empowering the minions and allowing that extra damage to secure. But it also means that if you want to pick a fight right now, it's going to actually deal a fair amount of damage, especially the supers out there. The thing is, maybe keep in mind the next sort of phase of the game. We finished the early game, finished kind of the mid game. We're about to transition into getting things a little bit later on. And when you look at both of these team comps and start to think about scaling, I mean, UBC's team comp seems pretty strong if it does start to get a little bit ahead.
Yeah, that's not saying taking anything away from a victor, but when you're 0-4-0, you don't really transition as on time like you want. So UBC, they're launching themselves into that, like you said, going into that later game as early as possible. Have huge power spikes, 602, 312, 105. There are some pretty impressive KDAs on UBC right now. Looks like they're trying to steal the loop up. Collapse. Frozen Knight, he goes down. Frozen Knight just not having a good time. Flash over the wall. A0C gonna go down as well. Double kill for Lies. There is Kyle. Sorry about that. Trying to create a line in the sand, please. Please do not come further. I will kill you. I just know I can. Even at 0-4-0, he does halt the progression of UBC as far as getting the kills, but the towers now are going down as UBC try to focus on the objective game.
Wow, I really gotta say, kind of explosive here for UBC. I kind of looked at the school names. I'm like, oh well, we've seen both of these guys before. Should be a pretty good game. But for UBC, they're just actually showing up, coming to play. And you can see while this might look like the Kha'Zix show, he is doing very well at 6-0-3. He's enabled his lanes early on, and then kind of just let them take over. And take over they have done before. And even though there is a negative score up in the top lane on Lord Mayor, everyone else on Summoner's Rift seems to have a pretty good idea of where they need to be.
Yeah, it'll just be a matter of time before UBC starts to close this one out. It's a best of 3, so Simon Fraser University, they have a chance to regroup, reorganize. May want to consider a Kha'Zix ban, and at the same time, this is the assassin patch. Who do you leave open as a consequence to that? So they have some decision making, a little bit more focus on the pick and ban to work on here. Now they're closing.
I'll keep an eye on that. I mean, this is where we get to kind of theory craft a little bit. It's like, well, what do you do to pull yourself back from a 14-4 deficit? Having Victor on your team is a really good option for that. Same thing with Pilton and Peacemaker, just to try to keep these minions off of the turret. And maybe eventually the enemy team is strong enough to tank the turret and just take it anyway. But for now, it's probably going to be best here. Maybe back off.
Oh, looks like A0 caught and just goes down to a huge ball of water and tidal wave. That was really no contest. Luminous is so strong right now. Just 2 items, but it's so early in the game. 2 items is huge. Now, actually, that's not even the inhibitor turret in the lane. Got to go down. The other side to pick it up here. All coming out from Pavel. Now, Frozen Knight trying to get a kill here as well. Saw an opportunity, going to try to capitalize on that one, but has to back away from Lyle. And now UBC Korean trying to get out as well. Very low health bar. Lies finally able to take out Frozen Knight. It is now a 2-for-0 right now in favor of UBC. Double kill for Lies. He's on fire. He's going to keep going. Triple kill as well. Cut off by Luminous, so CGO had nowhere to go. A0C, the only one up alive right now. I don't think he can really stand too much pressure, or stand to resist this pressure from UBC.
All right, well, that's going to be the pressure on this first inhibitor of the game. It will be going down here, nothing at all to say about that. Okay, well, I much like the inhibitor. It's going to be a Caitlyn going down at the same time. These are the struggles of the play-by-play caster when it's literally just, oh, well, that guy died. Not a whole lot to add. It's like, well, the opposing laner pressed R, and that's about it. Now, this is an interesting spot. Now, watch this blast fruit. It's going to try to knock everybody into this Baron pit. Can they get it in time?
Success.
Yes, they will. That's a pretty cool way to get into the Baron pit.
There's some team coordination for anybody who's watching that. You can take notes on the new plant system in the jungle. Exploding plant, one of the more comical ones, especially if you're playing as a Rengar who jumps to try to escape. Just blast back into the enemy team. But yeah, let's talk about the plants for a second. As UBC, they did just take Baron very quickly. I mean, it's almost to the point where it's their choice to close this game. So, not going to talk too much about what is happening at the moment unless there's a big team fight. Let's talk about the actual change to the jungles here, the jungle right now. The plants. So one of them was just hit the big revealing wave. It reveals wards as well that are placed in the area that it goes over. So very, very handy to scout out wards just like that right there. Also reveals, of course, anything else in its path, like enemies in the jungle, enemies wherever it goes. So it's a very helpful plant. Now, on these other plants, the red ones explode. You just saw them explode into the jungle here, knocking them back. And then you have the, I guess the more comical ones, the fruit plants. Really good for junglers. They're on the rivers, and they give 80, I believe it's 80 health per plant, per like fruit that it drops, and there's 6 fruits. It's quite interesting. The most comical thing about it is it makes a weird squishy noise whenever you pick it up. It's actually kind of gross, but it's interesting little mechanic that Brian's trying out.
Yeah, this is the sound of death.
Oh wow, hold on, it might be Luminous' death. He actually comes down, frozen right, able to pick up that kill after being stepping onto his traps. Very nice play by Simon Frasier. Can they capitalize though, or is Wise just a little bit too powerful? Is UBC Korean a little bit too powerful? Everyone else staying alive. Triple kill for Lies. That is 3 for 1 right now after using everything on Luminous, and now Flash is being blown by Simon Frasier. They are backing up into their fountain and conceding that fight, and also their bot lane inhibitor, possibly their Nexus as well.
Alright, well, Pekka kind of cuts out a little bit. I'm trying to, understand what he's saying. It's probably something about the game being about to end. I feel like that's probably a foregone conclusion at this point. Maybe some glory kills there at the end, but I mean, when the score is 23-6, 24-6 now, excuse me. I think it's fairly safe to say that will be a very dominant win by UBC in game number 1.
Yeah, very dominant, very impressive. Like I said, it's supposed to be UBC's B team. Clearly taking some notes from their A team, who have won ULOL twice in a row now. So very nicely played by UBC. Going to, I guess we just break that. There's not too much to break down really, because I mean UBC just kind of steamrolled. They got the early snowball with Kha'Zix, and as we talked about, it's an assassin meta right now. You can easily do that, and you were able to do that with any assassin beforehand. Kha'Zix has been no different, besides now he can do it a little bit harder, considering he dishes out so much damage at level 6 whenever you evolve his Q.
As of course a very big change. We'll be talking about more changes as the games go on, and of course this is the best of 3, so we're not done yet. If you guys were starting to get sad, you're like, oh no, we're out of collegiate esports. No, there's always more out there. We do want to thank everybody for coming out here, being a part of this Collegiate Star League broadcast. If you want more Collegiate Star League in your life, but maybe you're not a big fan of one game or one team or another, there's a lot out there. You can scroll right down below our video and check out all of the other collegiate esports that the C-Star League has to offer. If you want to play in this tournament, you can do so by heading over to cstarleague.com for more information on how to sign you or your school up to compete in the many different esports challenges that the CSL does offer. And of course, if you want to join us in the conversation, you can head over to Twitter and tweet at CStarLeague, at CSLLOL, or at us individually at Fekez or at Rapid Casting if you do want to show us what you have to say about tonight's games. Of course, before we head off, we do want to thank our sponsors at the last second. It's Band Gaming and, of course, Twitch for making this show possible.
Yeah, very much so. And speaking of Band Gaming, we're going to go head to a commercial break for Band Gaming, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Ben, Sam, and Ken are on separate journeys to defeat the menacing Vile Dragon. But let's just say luck isn't on their side. If only there was a way for them to find each other and band together. Well, that's why there's Band. It's a mobile app that allows people to come together using common interests. With Band, you can find fellow gamers, chat, schedule gaming sessions, and conduct polls. Stage epic battles with friends while sharing videos and photos along the way. So try Band today. Band. Be together.